Welcome, friends. Today's conversation is deeply human. We're exploring what happens when we lose ourselves in love, or relationships, or the roles we've stepped into. And what it feels like to come home again, somatically, in the body, emotionally, in the heart, and spiritually aligned with our truth. This one is for anyone who has ever woken up and thought, where did I go? How am I disconnected from my body? And how do I find myself again? How do I feel like my truth again? Let's breathe and let's begin. Welcome to Serenade to the Soul, a yoga and wellness experience. I'm your host, JackieOM. I invite you to drop into sacred space. A moment, a pause from your busyness. To drop back home into breath, into body. If you're multitasking or doing an activity where you are moving or driving or just can't be safe enough to close your eyes, maybe you just imagine this or return to this pause later. Or you can fast forward a minute or so into the episode. But if your body is craving just this simple detachment from the busyness, to feel into your body, your truth, I invite you to close your eyes. You can stand, you can sit, you can lay down. Make yourself comfortable. When we close our eyes, we simplify. We return to what's ours. Feel your body flowing through this time, slowing down into a pause. Soften your abdomen, relax your shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale, really fill your body with breath. And exhale, let out a sigh. Do it again. A big deep inhale by your nose. Exhale, let out a sigh. Notice the end of breath. What changes? 3 is the magic number, so one more time. A full deep inhale. And exhale. Grateful for the body you get to live in. Here you get to breathe. This day you get to live. When you're ready, open your eyes. Be grateful for the world around you. The quiet moment of realization, there's a moment, maybe you can relate, when you realize you've been living from outside in instead of inside out. From the roles, from the to-dos, from the goals, from the expectations, from the performance, versus from your soul's truth. These moments don't necessarily come with fireworks. They don't have to be big fights or official endings or a clear decision. It comes through quiet awareness, a soft truth rising up from our bodies before our minds can catch up. Maybe you pause and see yourself in the mirror, eyes tired, breath shallow, shoulders rounded. Maybe there are whispers you ask yourself, where have I gone? Or even a scarier question, why did I leave myself? Not physically, not literally, but emotionally, energetically, somatically, a disconnect from your body, your temple. We're not alone in this. We lose ourselves slowly, softly, in tiny moments of self-abandonment, in choosing harmony over honesty, in choosing someone else's comfort over our own truth, in trying to earn love, then receive it, and wanting connection so badly that we override the little flinches in our bodies that say, this doesn't feel good. When we lose ourselves through a somatic perspective, one thing I've learned through my own healing, through somatic training and stories that you all share with me, is that losing ourselves is rarely a conscious choice. I mean, who chooses that, right? We don't wake up one day and say, hey, I want to lose myself. No, 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 no. It happens over time, little by little. It happens in the nervous system, in protection, in patterning, in childhood conditioning, in familiar dynamics that feel like, quote unquote, home, even though we know it's not healthy. It's just familiar and the conditioned pattern. Our bodies try so hard to keep us safe. Sometimes that safety looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like performing. Sometimes it looks like shrinking. And sometimes it looks like staying in relationships or patterns of behavior or interactions or however we respond to stress events, where we keep hoping someone else will finally meet us the way we've been meeting them. There are 4 trauma responses that govern the nervous system: flight, fight, freeze, or fawn. So the first one, fight, one of the most common responses we've heard. There's an essence that says, I have to defend myself. When our nervous system enters fight mode, there's heat in our bodies. Our muscles clench, the jaw tightens, the heartbeat picks up. You might find yourself snapping easily, feeling irritated, out of the need to control. Emotions that arise out of the nervous system response of flight are anger, irritation, and the need for control. The deeper layer beneath this need is to feel safe in power and boundaries. It's an attempt to reclaim power when we feel unseen or unsafe. Ways we can heal this response is to ground into our bodies. Release energy through movement or sound, like shaking or sighing or gently vocalizing, and creating these vibrations that reconnect us into our bodies. The second nervous system response is flight. The essence is, I have to get away. The body feels jittery, restless. Often there's quick, fast movements, racing thoughts. It often looks like constant busyness, overworking, or running from stillness. Through my own studies, I've definitely related that flight is one of my most predominant nervous system responses, and I'm definitely working on it. The emotions that are tied to flight is anxiety or urgency or fear of stillness. The deeper layer beneath this is to feel safe enough to slow down. The body believes that safety comes through movement. And to heal this response is to anchor with breath, with longer exhales, slow, mindful stretching, mindful walking, mindful conversations, mindful eating. You get the gist. Number 3 is freeze. Too much, too soon, I cannot move. It's an overwhelm. The body becomes numb or feels heavy. There's disconnection or disassociation, a collapse. Emotions are emptiness, overwhelm, disconnection. And the deeper need beneath this is to feel safe, reawakening slowly. It might come after too much fight or flight without resolution. Safety feels impossible, so the body shuts down to protect from overwhelm. It numbs. Ways we can heal this response is gentle touch. Touch is love. Touch is safety. Touch is warmth. We could rock ourselves like a little baby. We snuggle up in cozy blankets and sweaters and socks. We could even hum or sing small, safe movements that say, I'm still here. I feel myself. And lastly, fawn. This was a new one recently. I know most of us are familiar with flight, fight, or freeze. But fawn is a very new one, and I realized, this is also one of my major patterns here. The essence of fawn is, if I make them happy, I'll be safe. It's the essence of a peacemaker or people pleaser. Right? The body has subtle tension while smiling, tight chest, shallow breath. The emotions are people-pleasing or guilt or fear of or avoiding conflict, caretaking. The need beneath this is to feel safe being authentic. We fear that if we're ourselves, we won't be loved. It's the nervous system's way of seeking connection by appeasing threat, by softening edges, often rooted in early experiences of love being conditional. Ways we can heal this response is to speak our truth softly. Notice when we override our own needs and offer ourselves compassion. It's all about the nervous system right now. It's everywhere, and it's so true. The nervous system is highly intelligent and gives us so much information about anything we need to know. Our bodies know the truth. It's simple yeses, simple nos. It's not confusing. It's very direct. But we just have to learn the language of the body to understand how it communicates. This is much more effective and safe, I feel, versus trying to figure out and solve puzzles and patterns in our mind. Our brains are designed to keep us safe, not happy, not necessarily in our truth, right? But our bodies are our truth. They are our gold. They bring us home. Home is in our own bodies. So the moment of awakening and coming home begins in the body. This can shift through our bodies getting tired of negotiating with our minds. Our chest can feel heavy, jaw held too much, breath lived in our throats instead of our bellies. Our intuitions get louder and louder and louder until we finally listen. Coming home isn't a single moment. It's a series of tiny choices, like telling the truth with courage and conviction. And I know for me, this helps when I practice it, when I reflect, I understand my patterns and what I need to shift and change. And I visualize stepping into my power. I visualize safety in my body, in my nervous system. I utilize my breath to fill every cell of my body into confirming it's safe and sound and worthy. And I practice speaking my truth and aligning it with the radiance of my heart. Another way is to feel what we're feeling, not being don't allow people dismissing your feelings or overlooking them or not understanding them get in the way. Feel your feels. They are gifts. And we need to stop over-explaining ourselves. When you see or sense a pattern where you are put into a position of having to over-explain, especially stories that are, or questions that are asked over and over and over again, and you seem to circle and circle and circle and over-explain, that's a destabilizing technique. A technique that feels like the rug is pulled under from your feet so you can lose your balance and feel a loss. Don't over-explain. Stand in your truth, your clarity, simply. And we can also let the body speak before our minds rationalizes everything away. This is what I'm working on with my empowered living clients. So learning how to listen to the messages of our body in certain sensations or certain things that come about. Where do these sensations live in your body? How do they communicate? When do they arise? And how can we make them feel safe? How can we retrain the nervous system into safety, into our empowered life? And lastly, remember what we actually need and desire when we're trying to please another or create harmony or overlook our own selves, our own needs for the sake of group or a particular person you're trying to please. Over time, that looks like forgetting who you are, forgetting what you stand for, what your needs are, what you desire. These are empowerment practices. These are connection practices. These are somatic healing practices. Somatic signs of self-abandonment. You may be wondering how to know when you're losing yourself. Here are some somatic cues from my own experience and from conversation with other people. So this is not all of them. It's just to get your brain kind of running to recognize patterns and to give kind of anecdotal evidence of what it might feel like in your body in the moment. You might feel a numbing or fogginess in your chest, a certain drop of energy in your heart. Sometimes for me, it can feel like a hand twisting at my heart, like you're curling up a piece of paper or a sheet from the middle and twisting it inward, and everything kind of wraps in and collapses. It might feel like you can't take a deep breath around certain people or groups or situations. Your stomach might tighten when you want to speak your truth, or it may feel like a golf ball in your throat. You might find yourself over-explaining or over-apologizing. Your body might feel tired in a way that sleep can't fix. You may feel disconnected from your sensuality, creativity, or intuition. That's evidence that joy has left the body. Your eyes might look different in the mirror, more dull, more guarded, less alive. And deep down, your soul might feel alone. We don't talk about this enough, but the body always knows when we've left ourselves. The mind lies, the body whispers, and then eventually screams, right? The mind lies trying to plug in answers to the empty holes out of the need to feel safe. Empty holes make us feel uncomfortable and vulnerable. And the mind or the brain wants to keep us safe. So even if the stories aren't true, it'll just be a temporary filler to prevent the feeling of discomfort, because the brain doesn't like to be uncomfortable. But that's where our yoga begins, right? The moment the mind wants to negotiate ourselves out of the present, out of discomfort, is when our yoga practice begins. And I mean yoga, not just the physical practice of yoga in a dedicated time, but yoga is uniting breath with body. Yoga is coming home to self. Yoga is simplifying the stories, the narratives that take us out of our truths. Yoga is a practice for life. Let's do a somatic practice. Let's call this coming home, like a check-in for coming home. So if you're listening right now, I want to invite you back into your body. You can continue what you're doing or pause and find a safe, quiet space. Make it sacred. You can do it gently, softening your shoulders, unclenching your jaw. Take a deep breath all the way down into your belly. And let it go. Feel the waves of breath expanding and contracting in your beautiful body. Hear the voice of higher self whisper without judgment or pressure. Where might I be abandoning myself right now? Whatever arises, let it be okay. It's not right or wrong. It's just current information. It'll pass as long as we don't attach. Sit with the eyes of observer, witnessing the information your body gives you. And then ask, where can I return to myself today? Even if it's just one tiny moment in this day, how can I return to myself? Maybe it's setting a boundary, which is so important, especially if you're experiencing abuse. When it's abuse, it's not about self-reflection and assessment and seeing, where am I going wrong? No. It's about setting boundaries and honoring your body and your peace. Returning home to self can look like rest. If your body's tired, rest. If your body's hungry, eat. If your body just wants to do something fun for yourself, honor it. Maybe it's not responding to a text or email or a question right away. Give it some space until you have the energy to fully respond in an aligned way. Maybe it's saying the thing you've been afraid to say. And honestly, this is a big one. I have found every time a thought comes into my head and I want to say it, when I do, it makes sense and it's right on time and it connects. It makes connections. The sense of vulnerability of speaking what's on your mind, your truth, makes connections. So do it. There's nothing to lose. Speak your mind. When you speak from the heart with compassion and clarity, it'll translate. They'll receive it. They'll hear the message from your soul, not your brain. Maybe it's choosing yourself even if someone else doesn't understand. Let them not understand. The only person you can control is yourself, right? We all know this. And coming home doesn't require a massive life overhaul. It starts with one loving breath, the honest moment, the somatic yes. The somatic yes feels like an uplift. It feels like the heart singing. For me, somatic yeses feel like sparkles and a feeling of elevation and expansion. Through my eyes, it looks like everything around me has a little bit of shimmer and glamour. So, if you've been with me on this podcast for a while, you know we've been building toward this conversation. A lot of my topics in the recent episodes have been about body awareness and how our bodies are gifts and how our bodies don't lie. These are all very significant ways of coming home to ourselves. And now, episode 21, this is the bridge, the integration, the coming home. And this happens through the nervous system. Everything we've been exploring, empowerment, connection, somatics, comes together here through nervous system regulation. And I'm here for you. I feel this to be my dharma, my soul's mission, because it's been my personal deep work for a very long time, coming home back to my body, returning back to my truth, stepping into my power, even when I'm being beaten down in so many ways. The fact that I still have energy to step forward into my truth, into my power, tells me I am on my path and this is right on time, and I'm here for you. If you need someone to help bring you home, back into your body, and to be empowered into whatever you're experiencing right now, please look in the show notes for my email and reach out to me. I'm here for you. This is my dharma. And I really, truly look forward to connecting with you if you need this. If you need this one-on-one coaching, please, I'm here for you. Reach out. Again, like I said, if there's even that twinkle of a thought in your mind, your heart, speak your truth. Ask your question. Reach out. Don't sit on it. Act now. My love, if you're feeling lost right now, you're not failing. You are awakening. Losing yourself is human, but coming home is holy. Losing yourself is human. Coming home to yourself is holy. It's sacred. It's eternal. And your homecoming doesn't have to be loud or dramatic or perfect. It can be gentle, it can be slow, it can be sloppy, it can be little by little, one tiny truth at a time. And you are worthy of a relationship with others and with yourself where you don't have to leave who you are to be loved. So take a breath. You are already on your way home. Thank you so much for sharing this time and space with me today. If this episode spoke to you, if it softened something or sparked something, I would be honored if you share it with someone who might need it too. You can connect with me on Instagram, inside JackieOM Yoga on YouTube, or through my coaching work if you're craving deeper support and coming home to yourself. And as always, be gentle, be honest, and be deeply, unapologetically you. I'll see you in next week's episode of Serenade to the Soul. Namaste.